I did not plan to start the story with my face buried in hot mashed potatoes. But that is exactly where I was when everything in my life changed. One minute I was standing at the buffet at my son's wedding, trying to balance a plate and a smile. The next minute, my new daughter-in-law was beside me with that sugary voice she uses when she wants to hurt me in public without anyone noticing. Asterisk, asterisk, the mashed potatoes were hot. The steam burned my face. And for a moment, the world blurred, the laughter and music melting into a haze of embarrassment and disbelief. I tried to pull back, but the heat clung to my skin, and there, in the middle of a crowded hall, I realized something terrifying. People don't see you for who you are, they see only what they assume you are. Could feel a few people gasp, a quiet chuckle from someone near the buffet, and then her voice, sweet, sharp, mocking, rose above it all. Taste the food? Old witch. It was in that moment that a man near the head table shot to his feet. Asterisk, his chair toppled behind. He pointed directly at me, his voice clear. Do you people know who that is? She is a billionaire. And just like that, my world shifted. Asterisk, asterisk, I want you to understand something before you think this was some kind of overnight miracle. I was not born into money. My childhood was one of careful counting. Every coin mattered. Every meal was stretched. I remember my mother balancing a thin loaf of bread between two plates, my father's shoulders heavy from work, and the quiet prayers we whispered at night, not for riches, but for enough to get by. I married a man who was steady and kind. We scraped and saved. Small jobs, broken appliances, we fixed ourselves, clothes worn until the seams gave out. And still, we dreamed. He once brought home a thin newspaper clipping about a new company. Mary, he said, eyes bright, maybe this is our chance to own a little piece of something bigger. I laughed at first. We barely owned anything, but something inside me, a quiet hope, whispered, we have nothing to lose, so we bought a few tiny shares. A prayer more than an investment. And for decades, that prayer grew quietly, almost invisibly. I attended shareholder meetings in the back row, worn shoes, plain handbag. I listened, I asked questions. I read every line of every report at night while others watched TV. I never changed my life, never flaunted my growing wealth. I still cooked simple meals. I still took the bus. I still folded my laundry. Asterisk, asterisk. Years later, life became complicated. I raised my son with love, care, and small lessons about kindness and dignity. But as he grew, I noticed subtle changes. He no longer asked me to pick him up at the station. He critiqued my faded dresses. He laughed softly at the envelopes of small cash I slipped into his hands when he brought his future wife home. I noticed the judgment in her eyes, not seeing the decades of work behind the chairs and curtains, but the cracks, the oldness, the imperfection. The comments started small. Jokes about retirement, about how older people should step aside. Then bigger, subtle insults about our home, our ways, our choices. I tried to reason. I tried to explain. But I realized something painful. While I had been quietly building a future, they had been building a world where I was invisible. Asterisk, asterisk, that night. I found myself at the wedding, waiting, small and quiet, trying not to draw attention, her presence at my side, her perfume like a warning, and her sharp voice, you should really taste the potatoes. They're the star of the menu, mother. Then the shove. My face plunged into hot mashed potatoes. Steam, butter, salt, truffle. Humiliation in front of everyone I had loved. And then a man near the head table stood. He called my name. He told everyone, she is one of the earliest investors in my company. She is worth more than most people here combined. In that moment, the air shifted. The room froze. People's assumptions crumbled like the food on my face. Asterisk, asterisk later. In my quiet kitchen, I opened my folder. The same folder that had held my decades of careful planning. Shares, accounts, letters, my will. I traced my finger over each name. My son, and the woman who had humiliated me. And I realized I did not want my lifetime of work to reward cruelty. I did not want my legacy to be someone else's stepping stone. So I made a choice. Not revenge. Not anger. Self-respect. Boundaries. I reallocated my estate. To shelters. To programs for women. To neighbors who had always cared without asking. A few tokens left for my son, small, meaningful, but the bulk went where respect, kindness, and humanity would be honored. Asterisk, asterisk money did not make me stronger that night. It revealed everyone else. It showed who cared and who saw me only as a resource. I realized my worth is not determined by blood, or by who inherits, or by wealth. It is measured by dignity, by integrity, by what you refuse to allow others to take from you. And to anyone listening right now who has been made small, invisible, or undervalued, your worth is not decided by who benefits from you. It is decided by who protects you when it costs them nothing. Asterisk, asterisk, thank you for staying with me until the end. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of your own strength, please subscribe and share it. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? And remember, your dignity is not a gift to be taken. It is yours to protect, quietly, fiercely, and always.